What is up, everyone? My name is Kyle. I'm with Danny. This is Edited Truth. We got some things to talk about this week. We got some good, the bad, and the ugly. I watched every single Mission Impossible movie. I'll talk about that a little bit. That'll be fun. We got some news to talk about. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention to you. I have a new segment this week. I call it Pirate Charts. I'm excited for Pirate Charts.
I am also excited for that.
Yeah.
I kind of think I know what you're getting at by that title, but I'm not going to jump the shark and assume.
All right. Cool. So let's get into it. How are you this week, Danny? Tell me about your life.
That's deep. I don't know. I had an existential crisis today. No.
Here we go. Therapy talk.
No, my life is good. It could be much worse. I am definitely a fortunate human being. I don't have monkeypox, so.
Ooh, that's always good.
Yeah. I'm happy about that.
Thinking positive.
Yeah.
We only got one video this week, Danny. Just one. It's a commercial from the 90s. You excited for this commercial?
Oh, I love 90s commercials. They're great.
This is going to be an interesting take.
Okay.
An interesting marketing take. The way this dude tries to bring people into his business is interesting.
Okay.
Business.
That's what I thought you were saying. I rolled with it. I was like, I like that.
Would you like some drugs? The first one is free.
Uh-huh.
Want to check out my van? I got some candy.
Oh, no.
Hey kids, want to join our gang and spray paint under our
Look at this
bridge?
old man. This is great.
No, I'm going roller skating.
Oh. Okay.
I want to be addicted to roller skating.
The hard cut.
Because we roller skate today, we
no.
will go to college tomorrow. Prison is for people that has never roller skated.
Prison is for people that
I'm Brad Armstrong, owner of Roller Kingdom in Reno, Nevada, keeping your kids off the streets since 1999.
Hold on, let me try
I
this.
know the drugs. I see.
The dude said 19, like, this is past, like, this is late stage 90s. This guy's been around, not like since 91, 99. So he, like, started.
He's probably just keeping him off the street for a few years. I like his marketing approach. So he gets parents where he's just like, these parents are so afraid that, like, these kids could be doing anything.
Yeah.
But if they're roller skating, they're out of trouble.
They're not in trouble.
No to gang.
I
Let's
say no
finish
to
that.
unplanned pregnancy.
I say no to men.
Whoa!
I say
Whoa!
no to reefer. I say yes to roller skating.
Oh, my goodness.
Man, this Roller Kingdom is really putting us out of business.
You said it, man. This deal sucks.
But you know what?
What?
Maybe we should give up this life of crime and start
Fuck.
roller skating.
Does it make you want to roller skate?
I feel like the framing for some of these children was a little appropriate. I feel like they went a little far with some. Johnny, your lines is, I'm not addicted to meth. I'm addicted to roller skating.
What's math? Yeah.
Oh Jesus! That was good. All right, I believe it. It reminds me of the mini mall guy and like all those other weird like public access like commercials and just infomercials that were really rough, but they had a message. He thought he was clever. He's like, "Oh, use fear to sell this roller skating."
Use fear. Fear always works, especially in the 90s.
Mm-hmm. I don't know anyone who went to prison or what roller skate.
Yeah.
That's what one of the kids say that.
Yeah. Good times. Let's talk about some news this week, Danny. You want to talk about some news that's going on?
Yeah, let's get into some news.
I don't believe that you want to talk about news. I don't believe you at all.
I mean, I particularly know that no news is good news, but yeah.
I like that sentiment. So let's run that by learning things we don't need to know about,
Hard left.
shall we?
Yeah.
Let's start off with where do I want to start off with news? We're going to start off with some tech news first.
All right.
Intel
Okay.
is exiting the Nook business, the little tiny PC business, which is so dumb because right now it's really hard to get your hands on a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
and they're going for like $150, $200. But for that price, you could get one of those little Intel, like kind of like how our friend has, little computer, cheap for like $200. Same price as an overpriced Raspberry Pi currently, and it's like 20 times as powerful, with a better PC, with a better power supply, keeping that low. Especially, this is with the idea that people use these for like little tiny servers.
Yeah,
For
there's
the most part.
well, like there's this high demand right now because of that vacuum created by
Yeah.
the lack of Apple Pie or the Pie market kind of being just cleaned out. So they could have stepped in and filled that void and
People
really like championed up like a whole new paradigm.
because of the shortage of pies, people seem to really love these little tiny Intel computers. But Intel's like, nah,
We're getting out.
we're done.
That
We
sucks.
are done. I might have to find some. Look at
Maybe
some
yeah,
like
catch
businesses, see if they're selling any on the cheap.
it. You'd be lucky because now that this news is out, they're gonna be.
They might go up. Yeah.
They're gonna be. They probably already have.
Who
As
knows?
we're saying this, it's
Who
already getting raked up.
knows. Yeah, so keep your eyes out on those if you're interested in home labbing stuff. Let's move on to some video game news, Danny. You wanna take the reins on this little news about a company that made what is the name of the game? Golem. It's just called Golem.
It's that Lord of the Rings Golem game
Lord
is
of the
what
Rings.
just the bad game, that bad Lord of the Rings Golem game
Yes.
is what everyone calls it.
That
so.
bad. Lord of the
So I
Rings
mean that's
Golem
not
game.
news. That's like everybody knows that. But apparently that game tanked so hard that it took out the developer, which was like Daedalic Entertainment, was a German developer that was relatively unknown, did some indie games, not much going on for it, but this game was them hedging their bets on the IP being that popular that a low quality game could still carry it and like get it past its sales like quotas, and it did not, and they just folded right away. So they're no longer a company, and I hadn't seen that happen in a long time where like a game failing took a company down, but apparently that still happens. And I always wonder, like, is it IP damage sometimes that ruins a game, or does it overall like just become a thing where people just assume any IP that's popular can be a safe bet, and they get the rug pulled out from under them? Because that's kind of what happened here, it feels.
Yeah. Unfortunate. They're really relying on this IP.
It's not like the Rings of Power did any favors for them, so people were like, they're probably already really skeptical of the brand, and so when they came to this game and they saw something that was kind of rushed and like a little lazily like shoved out on just IP branded or branding alone, it just was like it was a bad situation from start to finish. There was this one little side thing that I picked up on, that there was blame being thrown around by one of the developers as the Ring of Powers was like getting bad press.
Right.
That they said
At
a lot
the
of that
same time.
splashed off onto them, and it was like a formation of like a steamroll effect, like a snowball effect. And so that is funny. We're honestly, they're like, you guys didn't help. This is just everything sucks. Lord of the Rings nowadays. It's happening. It's like a Star Wars thing, where you get these lazy attempts for people to cash in on the IPs, and it goes nowhere. And now you get these like shoddy games left in as like archives to time for us to like hang on and look back and be like, why does this keep happening?
Why indeed?
Why we never learn? Like it's a graveyard.
Yeah.
I mean, we could go back to the 90s with that easily and look at all those failed IP game adaptations. 80s with ET even, but that's a thing in itself. Oh,
True.
did you ever watch that documentary I put on the server, the ET one, where it's all just about the landfill and like the failure of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. That was good. It wasn't bad. It wasn't like great or anything, but it was like, you don't know, this stuff's kind of wild. Yeah, that kind of fucked that
crazy,
developer
though.
too. So
It's crazy. This also reminds me of a little different, because they actually did something good. Was what is it called? Rhythm and Hues, I think, is the name of the company. They did the visual effects for Life of Pi.
Oh.
And it won Best Oscar that year for Best VFX. And they went out of business the same year.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate because that actually was, to me, that was one of the better parts of that movie was the visual effect.
Right? The Tiger Man.
Well, the lights and just the different settings. They really, the visual effects brought them to life very well instead of making them feel like alien, like most modern movies do.
True.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Baldur's Gate. A lot of interesting news, right? So we got the news about in-game newspapers that'll respond to your choices within the world, which is interesting.
That's cool.
And the fact that we could actually control the press. We can
Yes.
raid them and force them to write what we want to write, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, it is. It is a. I mean, they're saying that there's going to be so much content to this game that you could be lost for like I've seen some absurd like 700 hours. So
It's insane.
yeah. Well, because it's just the probabilities and the absurdity. But I mean, and it's like that is cool and that's fascinating. That's actually really cool and worthwhile. But let's get to the meat and potatoes here of what's going on in this Baldur's Gate game. You could just be a bear and fuck someone.
Yeah, that was my next topic is that you could be a druid, you could turn into a bear, and you could have sex as a bear.
Or you could be like any of the wild
Or
shapes.
whatever-
You could be like a
whatever
badger,
animal
a
you
spider.
wanna
You could be an
choose.
arachnid. You know, you could fuck. I want to see that. I want to see how that goes
no.
down. How's the spider
How does
sex
that
scene going to
work?
play out? Oh. You could be a spider that fucks like a half vampire dude, and then you get like a whole cutscene for it. And they took time. It's like I see now why this game took so long to release. They had to do all the different programming for the different bestiality scenes. Oh my god!
Oh no!
Oh, okay. So this just takes me right now to like, do you know like when you're going down like a YouTube rabbit hole in like games
Yes.
where you're like, let me see everyone's like specials or like everyone's finishers.
Yes.
Now it's gonna be like, here's a quick cut of all the bestiality cutscenes in fucking Baldur's Gate 3.
I wonder if YouTube will flag them.
That's a good question. That's a
Will
good fucking question. I wonder if they already have been flagged by their own press conference.
That'd be interesting.
It's getting wild.
I'm excited
It's
to see
getting wild.
that.
I mean, I can't wait to play this game, but I'm blown away that this is actually even possible.
Right?
This is a hold bar. No
be
holds
insane.
bar. Any of the weird shit that's ever happened in a tabletop campaign seems to be possible in this game, and I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
3 more weeks.
3 more weeks. Check out Baldur's Gate when it comes out. Moving on to entertainment news. Danny, I told you about this yesterday. Superman Legacy Cast. So we have 4. Hot Girl. Isabella Merced playing Hot Girl. She was Dora.
Yeah,
And she was
live action.
Explorina.
The Explorer.
Yeah. We got Eddie Gathegi as Mr. Terrific. He played Darwin in First Class back in the day. You know that person who has the ability to
Evolve to any
evolve to any
situation
situation
and never die.
was
No.
never able to, and then he just instantly died. Yeah, that guy.
It's like, well, I'll just blow you up. It's like, no, you would have teleported, but all right. I'm glad he's getting back in it though. He's
Good
getting getting a second chance. He's getting the, I guess you would call it the Deadpool.
He's been in a lot of things. Haven't seen any of it, unfortunately.
He's getting his Ryan Reynolds run.
Yeah. And finally, we have as Guy Gardner, we have the one, the only Nathan Fillion, of course, because it's a James Gunn film.
Yeah.
So, of course, he's going to be in it. But an interesting choice, because that's like a role that sticks around, I imagine.
Yeah. And that's a
Right.
great choice overall, just as like character choices in the universe for a movie.
Yeah, I've been interested in Mr. Terrific.
Yeah.
To come around.
I enjoy Mr. Terrific. His weird like aspect of like how he kind of fits throughout time and like messes with a lot of pivotal moments in like the DC history. Like that'd be interesting. So they could world build using him and not be kind of like bloated about it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, he comes with like his own built-in MacGuffins. Oh, jeez. I don't know. James Gunn did better with the Suicide Squad than anyone else, but
True.
even then, like having had time to like go back and look at that movie, it's not that much like of a breakthrough when it comes to like his approach to making
Special, yeah.
Yeah, like his other movies, like the Guardians movies, felt like they were better than that movie technically. So that's where I kind of get a little concerned, and I'm like,
It
are
was
these
just
gonna be
a-
like weak Guardians movies for the rest
It's-
of the DC run?
It's a problem. It's competency in a sea of mediocrity. So you're like, oh, hey, it's something. It's not good, but I'll take it.
Yeah, and I didn't dislike Brightburn. I just didn't think it was great either, though.
No.
I was kind of lost at the point of like him like building up the movie and then ending it. I'm like, oh damn it. But I like Super. Super was good with Rainn Wilson. Like
Super
that
was
was
good, yeah.
If he could do more stuff like that, like I think it's more ground level. Like, wasn't he involved in that Batgirl movie? Is that not?
No.
No, who did that Batgirl
I have
movie that
no
never?
idea who did.
And that's never
that.
coming out.
It's not
That's
coming
never
out.
coming out.
Never
That is
coming
never.
out.
That's done. Oh, I'll never accept the fact that they made it's like that turned into
insane.
that's the modern like Fantastic Four movie.
It's insane. They literally
Yeah.
were
Like,
just like, we'll write it off rather than try to make some money back on it.
yep. We'll just so we can keep this IP going and fresh for when James Gunn gets here. He'll try again.
Apparently, what is it called? The Flash would have made more money if it just went directly to streaming because last money would have spent on marketing. So they would have just taken less of a loss.
Yeah, easily. I don't know why they
Which is
got
funny.
this.
They suck at
I mean,
business.
We went through this whole thing about how like summer blockbusters have kind of hit a busting point. So like I don't know what's going on with them thinking that The Flash coming to theaters was like a good move. Maybe they thought somehow it would be like that Spider-Man movie, The No Way Home. Maybe that will have the same effect. I don't know. That was wild.
Maybe.
Yeah, it just maybe blind ambition. That's all going to be their downfall.
Unfortunate. I don't know. I don't care. I'll
let it burn.
see the Superman. I'll probably see it. But,
Yeah.
But I
Pirate.
could care.
Yeah, I'll pirate the shit
There you
out of
go,
it and
there
see
you
it
go.
just to see. I'm more excited for Nathan Fillion in that out of anyone.
There you
like
go.
that's the only thing.
Yeah.
They might actually finally do a live action Green Lantern, right? It
Hopefully.
might fucking happen in our
Hopefully.
lifetime.
We'll see.
I'm not gonna hold my breath, but yeah,
We'll see.
that'll be fun.
Speaking of pirating, let's move on
Yar.
to pirate charts. So this is inspired by Dan Merrill's YouTube channel, and he does a segment called Charts with Dan. Really great, breaks down everything about the box office. Highly recommend you check it out.
Okay.
This is the pirate version of that. So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
going to Pirate Bay, any version of any clone.
Uh-huh.
Take your pick. They're all the same.
Yeah, they have the same purpose.
And I'm looking at the
Different flavor.
top torrents movie-wise.
Okay.
I probably won't do this often because once like a big like Marvel movie or something comes, it just stays there for a while.
Yeah, it's kind of predictable at that
So
point.
I'll do this
Well,
only,
maybe,
like,
I don't know.
every like month or so instead of weekly.
Yeah.
But all right, you ready for this?
Let's do it.
This is as of July 9th. So this is before Mission Impossible
Okay.
came out.
Uh-huh.
Okay? So we'll start with number 5, which is fascinating. It's called a movie called More Than I Want to Remember.
Okay.
It's on... Fuck, what is it on? It's on Paramount Plus. Something I never would have heard of before, but it's
Number 5, pirated.
number 5. It has 6,820 seeds
Okay.
between 2 torrents, and the top torrent has 3,687 seeds.
Okay, so that'll download in like a blink of an eye.
Yeah. And let's see. So this is it was like the winner of the NAACP awards. It's like an animated short about like an African child. Let me see if I can get like a better description.
Oh, it's just a short? And it's, wow.
It looks like it's a short, probably like a 20-minute short.
But still to have those numbers, that's
One
great.
night at her home in southeast Congo, 14-year-old Baguni awakes to the sounds of bombs as her family scatters to the surrounding forests to save themselves. Baguni finds herself completely alone. Remember Waltz with Bashir, like about 8, maybe 10 years ago?
Yes.
It's an animated film about bombing in the Middle East. This
it
kind of
was-
gets those vibes. a
Yeah,
little
this
bit.
that was also like didn't that get like an Academy Award or something like that?
I know it was nominated.
Something.
I'm not sure for one.
And definitely has a slight Grave of the Fireflies vibe to it as well.
Yes.
And sound.
So this is interesting. This is something that would never make a list like that. That's why I'm interested in looking at this. And
Yes.
I'm going to check
yeah.
it out.
Yeah,
now
because
of
essentially
this.
it's what is the globe want? Like, what is the globe interested in?
Exactly.
As one.
Okay, number 4, with 6,820 seeds across 2 torrents, with the top torrent being 3,687, is Extraction 2, which is on Netflix right now.
I haven't even seen Extraction 1.
I haven't seen that movie either. It's about Thor, Mr. Extraction, and he does adventures. Apparently, it's hot. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. Let's move on. Number 3, with 8,305 seeds across 2 torrents, with the top torrent at 5,444. John Wick Chapter 4.
And that had been out for a while now.
And
So
it's been it's been steady at
Okay.
that place for a little bit.
yeah.
Number 2 is Fast X.
Oh my gosh.
It has 11,786 seeds across 3 torrents, with the top torrent being 5,672 seeds.
But that makes sense because the global appeal of that movie
Yeah,
franchise
that
is
thing is
insane. Because
huge.
that movie literally takes place in those movies take place
Yeah.
all around the world. So, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Because I'm like, man, that's been out even longer than
Yes.
the other movies. So,
Exactly.
Wow.
And number 1 with 10,306 seeds across 4 torrents, with the top torrent being 17,404 seeds.
The Mario movie.
No, right? That you would think that would be up there for like ever,
Yeah.
for like all of time. For now,
As loud as everyone made it seem, was like the fervor for it was, but no, what? What is
Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
it? Oh yeah.
Just,
Ah,
yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah, so that is number 3. But the most surprising thing is whenever a new movie comes out, whatever the cam version of that week is, or whatever, that's usually the top of the week. Last week, Indiana Jones came out.
No cams.
It was number
that were
7.
worth downloading.
It was number 7. The Indiana Jones
Yeah.
Telsync only had 1 torrent at 2,880 seeds at number 7. 6 was Avatar: Way of the Water.
That thing fell hard in
Yeah.
the box office. Like
So
it dropped into,
Indiana
like, a free
Indiana Jones is not only underperforming
fall. Yeah.
with paying customers, it's underperforming with attention in general. People
Yeah.
who are willing to download it illegally,
Yeah.
but not pay for it. Right? They're saying it's not even worth my time.
Exactly. You could look at it as like the gradient between like in like Rotten Tomatoes of like the critic score, but then the fan score. It's like in that realm, you can literally see just with this, the audience focus, the overall appreciation amongst the contemporaries. Like Indiana Jones is getting like sandbagged everywhere. It's it's like a bloodbath to me, but I don't know. I never understood how this ever got made, and it'll get made again. I mean, people didn't like Crystal Skull really, so
True.
there'll be another Indiana Jones until Harrison Ford dies, and that's why I'm starting this petition right now. Let's euthanize Harrison Ford.
Oh. Can we have Bruce Willis do it?
Let's have Bruce Willis while he's still coherent euthanize Harrison Ford.
Let's wait for him to get full, like, Alzheimer's, and then make it a game.
Okay.
We'll turn it into a reality show.
Well,
Have
there's
Bruce Willis
like
remember that he has to murder.
like a Squid Games with Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis can't remember that he has to kill.
But he does keep remembering. Every now and then it comes back to
Harrison
him.
Ford.
He's like, I have to kill Harrison Ford.
Right,
Oh,
right,
shit.
right. All right, let's do this. Wait, what was that?
They even befriend each other at one point. And it's
Yeah.
like halfway through it. They're like drinking and he looks up at him and he's like, I just
Wait a
remembered.
minute.
And he smashes his. Yeah, see, that would have been better than Indiana Jones. That movie would have done gangbusters. I guarantee you. Just on the Squid Games premise alone,
Let's
people
make
love
it
that.
happen. Let's see it. Let's make it happen, people.
Yeah.
I want to see it. Oh man. So that is Pirate Charts. Let me know what you think. New things. I'm trying things out. Trying to paint a picture of the entire box office. Let's get into our good, bad, and the ugly. You ready for this, Danny?
Let's hop in.
Let's do it. Let's start with the good. I'm going to start off, and I'm going to say this is in my good, but it's good teetering ugly.
Oh.
And that is the new Superman show. I like it.
You've actually
enjoy
cracked
it.
into it. Okay.
Yeah, I enjoy it. It's fun. But it's missing something. There's only one episode, so maybe there's more to come. But
it didn't check all the boxes.
didn't
for
check
you.
all the boxes.
It was not like episode 1 of Invincible.
Exactly where you're
Is what
like,
you're
damn,
saying.
I am
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. Credits
Yes.
roll. You're like, okay, I'll be back for 2. That's unfortunate, but I'm glad it's at least like holding your attention enough. Or
It's
you giving it.
I'll
you're
be
giving it
back
faith.
for sure.
That gives me hope because I'm gonna jump into that soon. I probably like
And
marathon it.
it looks fun. It looks like
Art style's great.
It looks like Superman is gonna befriend like Daily Bugle people. That's gonna be like a day. He's gonna work with Daily Bugle people.
Oh,
to do
that stuff
things.
always kind of reminded me in the comics, like more of like the older Archie stuff. So that was
Yes.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
When he was like trying to do his like, or he's like a newsie on the corner, like doing reporting and stuff. He's like extra. That's more older Superman. I'm interested to see how they do it in modern times. That'll be funny. Like,
Yeah.
because like I mean, the Daily Bugle still feels like a weird concept
Like, why
in
is
2023.
a newspaper still around?
They evolved J.K. Simmons into being like
is
Alex Jones and like
that makes a
stuff
little
like
sen-
that.
makes
that
sense.
worked.
Right.
But yeah, the
Yeah, what's-
Daily Bugle is a concept. Like I don't know, was it supposed to be like the New York Times now or something? I don't know. Weird.
Yeah. What? You're the surviving newspaper? Like, why do you have a building? Why isn't everyone working from home?
What, is this even like a viable job for him?
Right. I know. Like, what does he know?
This is like Clark. He could get a better job. Like his parents are all depressed. They're like, when are you gonna go back to school?
Doing? Yeah. Like, yeah. Come on.
He's like, fuck, man. I saved the world last night. I'm getting this shit. Yeah. Fucking Superman. Oh, that I'm gonna check that out though.
Yeah.
All right.
Check it
That's in
out.
the good.
What's your good?
That's kind of funny that you went that route because I also went the route of a TV show, an animated TV show, an animated DC TV show. Fucking A, man. We're lining up. Aquaman, King of Atlantis.
Aquaman.
That's my good.
That was fun.
That was fun, right?
I enjoyed it.
Wasn't it
yeah.
a good ride? There was
Yeah.
like, oh, I almost felt like guilty. Like I was like, I liked this, and nothing about it made me hate myself. Like, what's going on here? It's so weird. I don't get it. How did DC do this? Better yet, how did the whole production company coming together like do this? Because it's such a weird thing. It's produced by James Wan.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
Really?
Insidious.
Wow.
The Insidious
yeah.
guy. Like he's
Yeah,
he's
he
the one,
did,
he's in production on this.
He did the first Aquaman too.
Oh
right?
yeah, he did do the Jason Momoa original Aquaman. He was James Wan, wasn't it? I forget that shit because it's all so bad. But yeah, that's
why-
weird that he was in on this. But yeah, he's one of the producers that's involved, the main one.
Wow. So he's actually involved in the animated show.
Yeah, and it's
Right on,
actually
I like it.
Yeah, and it's not bad. And it's Keith Packett. Packets is the director who did like the pretty much a lot of the show running. So he did the Thundercats Roar, and that's it. That's all he's got like under his
Interesting.
checklist of like accomplishments. So for this to be that good, and that was the only other thing he did, which that is good too. I haven't seen much of it, but I hear a lot of good things. And
Yeah.
the clips I've seen have been fun. I like Thundercats, so I'll check it out someday. But this was really good. This was funny. This was like clever about how they use the mythos. This was really like laborless, even though it was only 3 episodes. Each episode was like, I believe, like a movie. It was like 60 minutes or something like that. So it was short, but then they were still involving, but it never felt tiring. And so I enjoyed it. I enjoyed how they cast everybody. You'll recognize a lot of voices.
Yeah.
The comedy never really falls flat, and like they don't even go into the realm of like James Gunn's jokes about like Aquaman fucking sharks and all that. But they still get that kind of like sneered cleverness to it. So there's a lot of moments where it's like they do have like kind of deep cuts of dark humor, and it's just kind of it's enjoyable. So like I'm just so delighted that there's still good DC content coming out. Yeah, especially in their animated realm, because they started to get a little light. Like they put out a lot of stuff over the last few years, but like I have to say it's been kind of hit and miss with all that stuff, like 50-50.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah, but hopefully this continues and they get another season.
It's cool. Yeah.
And if not, it ends. It's good. Things can end. I'm not saying things don't have to end. Don't take that wrong, internet.
Never.
Don't take that wrong.
Never.
Oh God, please stop this.
Never.
Oh,
Things
Jesus
never
Christ, what have I
end,
said?
Danny, things
fuck
never
me.
end.
All right, yeah. But that's my good.
Loop
It's a
back.
bad now. Let's move it over to bad. I hate
Going
it.
to
I hate
bad.
everything.
Going to bad.
All right. But what's your
my bad for the week? Just because I want to talk shit.
Yeah, talk some shit.
On Marvel is
Talk some shit on Marvel.
is Secret Invasion. This show is garbage, man. What is happening in this show? Everyone's just meandering. Like it has the tone of what you would expect from Winter Soldier, but like it's just Nick Fury walking around half the time, and he's not really getting anywhere.
Okay.
And there's no real character progression until like usually the last 15 minutes of each episode. We're getting Super Scrolls. I guess that's kind of cool, but other than that, no, nothing. Nothing is really clicking. Nothing really. It really does feel like they're fucking with you pacing wise these days. Almost like how The Walking Dead was fucking with you at one point, where it's like, watch this episode, it's gonna be amazing, and then
it's a guy sitting in a dark corner talking to himself for 2 hours, and you're like, what the fuck?
Or like how they they dragged up like the original Negan stuff.
Well, they
like,
tried to milk it. Well, they thought they could just like split everything out into like offshoots. So they're like, watch this other Walking Dead show.
Yeah, so it kind of feels like that's what Marvel's doing now.
Yeah.
Or at least maybe it's not intentional, but unintentionally it feels that way. And that's not a good place to be in. You don't want to Walking Dead your show, man.
No, you don't want to wring that rag till it's bursting into flames.
Yes.
It's so dry it's igniting. You don't want to do that, and they've done that to like almost the nth degree now at this point.
Yeah.
Well, their movies like collapsing on themselves with like how like their movies kind of parody their own plots, and then they almost like, I don't even know how it's gonna work with the Deadpool movie. I'm so scared that all of it's gonna fall flat.
No,
like
we didn't
kinda
talk
how
about
Doctor
Deadpool in
Strange.
the news. Deadpool.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, circle back. We got
to see Wolverine.
Breaking news: Yellow Suit Wolverine,
Wolverine
officially confirmed. Tight spandex and blue and all. Deadpool movie Wolverine. Hugh Jackman.
It only took 21 years.
We got the orange one in the Wolverine. So
The one in the suitcase?
Yeah, the helmet, like that little nod, which was nice. That was fun, but this looked bad. I like the edited one you posted where he was shorter. You made it the actual size. What a world where that's true.
One day. You think he's gonna wield the mask, or you think he's just gonna be maskless the whole movie?
They might even make a joke about it, and that's breaking the fourth wall how they normally do, but I don't know. I hope not. I hope they make him do that. That would be funny. Hugh Jackman to wear that mask the whole fucking time. I think for him, it would kind of be a show of like a show of purity, of genuineness. Yeah. He's like really like, I don't fucking care. You can't see my face. I'm here for fun. I love Wolverine. I always got that about him. Like with Logan, I got that he really wasn't bitter about the character. Like he was actually happy about it. He was bitter he couldn't have ice cream. Let's put that on the record. He's gone on record that he hated that he could not have ice cream because he had to keep that body. But let's be real. He made his career out of that. and he knows it.
And his Wolverine suit's fully covered, no arms showing, so it doesn't look like he's working out for this.
No, he's definitely getting a bit of the Michael Keaton Batman suit like adjustment.
Yeah,
Like, here's your six pack, Mr. Keaton.
he still
He's
looks
like,
great, way better than Michael Keaton.
Let's get nuts.
But
yeah, that's true.
yeah, he definitely
Especially
is
in
like,
that Flash movie.
I'm not doing like an arm pose where you see every little cut of shadow in my fucking veins. No, no, we're not doing those shots anymore.
No. And they got him in the hair. He's not going to be coming back with the recut wig. Remember when they had to do the extra shots?
Yeah.
Oh, that was bad.
Yeah.
So funny. That scene with the wolf too, where he's like, okay, that's fair.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know about. I'm still nervous. I mean, who knows? Deadpool might be great, but it's just garbage. Marvel's garbage these days. There's nothing really piquing anyone's interest. Movies are garbage. I mean,
That formula's done. It's been done.
Guardians was fine, but other than that,
But that's all cap off. That's all done. There's nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing really happening.
That's wrapping
there.
it up. It's like Logan.
I don't know where they're going. Who
like
knows
this Deadpool thing is. They cap it off. That'd be great. But he's gonna want to run with it as long as he can.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But this will probably definitely be it for Hugh Jackman. Well, I don't know. Well, who knows?
Supposedly it's going to be like a romp through like the Fox universe. It'll be like an end, a button on all the Fox things.
Oh, so it's going to be a fucking Space Jam movie? No.
Yeah, it's Space Jam. He's going to be all like, hey,
Space Jam 2.
Yo, what's up, Electric? Electra, what up?
Yeah, because you said that
What's up, Ben Affleck?
And that's confirmed that Jennifer Garner is going to be in the Deadpool.
I think.
That's not confirmed. That's a rumor.
I'm going to say I've seen it tweeted more than 5 times.
Okay, that's confirmed. All right. Jennifer Garner, Electra. This. See, now that shit sounds bad. That's the worst movie I've ever seen. I walked out. That's the only movie I've ever walked out on. I mean, granted, it had like 10 minutes left, but I was like, I don't care anymore.
I don't want.
I don't even care anymore. I just got better things. I wanted to go get food. I was like, I'm just gonna eat.
I didn't watch it. I never watched it. I just stayed back. I tried.
Well, that was back when like superhero movies were new, and I was young enough to be naive to be like, oh yeah, this couldn't be bad.
Even after Daredevil?
I didn't see Daredevil in theaters yet. I actually I had never seen it in theaters, so like I was like, all right, let's check this out.
Okay.
And then I watched that in the same week, and I was like, oh, these are all terrible.
Mm-hmm. Let's see
Unfortunately.
Let's bring back A1 Ruffafud.
His name is Ruffafud.
Let's see the Ruffafud.
It's his name. His
Ruffafud.
his family name is Ruffafud.
Oh God. Oh, poor bastard.
Ion or whatever. Fucking that's fucking Dr. Professor or Dr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So those are so bad. Those Fantastic Four movies. Jesus.
Yeah.
So yeah, Marvel's bad. That's your bad.
That's my bad. What's your bad?
A Cry in the Dark.
Cry in the Dark.
1988. It's the starring Meryl Streep and Sam Neill. Mm-hmm. It's known in Australia as Evil Angels. Everywhere else, it's Cry in the Dark. It's that a dingo ate my baby movie. Mm-hmm. That I thought was going to be really good, but was just frustrating. It was just, it's a Frederick Shetsky is the name of the director, mm-hmm. and only other thing he made that I knew was you remember Mr. Baseball with Tom Selleck, where he goes to Japan to play baseball?
Vaguely.
It was. I remember when I was younger. I mean, go back to watch it because it's just funny because it's like a lost in translation. Like it's fish out of water. Tom Selleck in Japan. Like seemed like kind of cool. I care less for baseball stuff, but I'm like, okay, I'll check it out again. And I like that movie, but this movie didn't live up to what I thought it was gonna be. It was gonna be a little more gritty and less like kind of just like more anxiety driven and frustrating. It didn't feel like the way that people feel over dramatic. Like the melodrama was amped up too much. And so the acting didn't come across genuine. The people, how they reacted to situations didn't seem like plausible. So I just wasn't immersed in the movie. Like, so It wasn't gritty. It didn't have any of the viability of the actors. It's like their talents weren't put on display. This is young Sam Neill, but it felt like he overacted a lot in this movie.
And Meryl Streep.
Well, yeah, and she was probably the most genuine of the overacting due to her position. But still, even her sometimes got a little weird where I was like, you don't seem real. Like, I almost want to laugh at you how much you're hamming it up. So that's why this movie's just bad for me. It didn't hold up in the way that I wanted it to in my head from just the pop culture references. I thought it was going to be an interesting trial. Everything just felt so silly.
Right.
So silly. And it's just the truth behind all of it makes you just feel like even more
So
frustrated.
ridiculous.
Where you're just like, their baby got killed by a dingo and they served time in jail because they thought that they killed their baby and not the dingo, even though they found evidence later on. They still did 3 years apiece.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's just frustrating. It's I mean, sure, if you want to use this movie as a beacon to highlight how shitty things were in Australia at that time, especially in their legal system, that's great. But it's just too agonizing to get through to get to that message because that's later in the movie. So that's it. It's a hard pass on this one for me.
Hard
ever
pass
again.
for Danny.
Yeah, but yeah, there was just that screaming moment though, which I think I have my baby. That was good. That was good, but didn't save it. Didn't save it. But that's my bad.
All right, that's your bad.
Yeah.
Let's move on to ugly. My ugly is now this one, like my good. This is ugly, but it's teetering on good.
Oh, I like that. Those are good ones. Okay.
That is 4th of July.
That's my ugly.
Yeah?
Oh,
All right,
shit.
let's talk about it.
Okay.
All
That's
right.
perfect.
Yes.
Okay. Mine was it's teetering. It was teetering out bad for me. That's funny though.
Closer to bad?
It's closer to bad. That's our difference. I like it. But do why it's ugly to
So
you.
it's ugly for me because mainly the ending. I just don't agree with the message. I think about him and essentially he had these feelings for his family and he took them out on his family
Because he kept him
and he was
inside all the
mean.
time.
And I think the message it was trying to get across is try to say what you need to, but don't be mean about it. I don't know exactly what it was getting at the end.
It was just like Roadhouse. It's like be mean, but with a smile.
With a
no.
smile.
But beat them up, but with a smile.
Throw
them out, but always be nice.
I was just confused
No,
about that, and
yeah,
it was
that
just
was-
well,
It was a bit up its own ass.
well,
It was up its own
family,
ass.
and I'm just all like, no, I don't think so. I don't think that's. I kind of rejected it at the end for that. But overall, I like Nick DiPaolo. That was great, him being Nick DiPaolo. I didn't care too much for the main actor. I don't know.
I've seen some of his stand-up. He's okay. Nick
So
DiPaolo
he's
was probably the best. And Louis as the therapist and Nick as the shitty uncle was
Yeah.
perfect casting. Because Louis C.K., I haven't seen any of his movies that he's directed or made,
Right.
but this one was the first one I saw.
Pootie Tang? You saw
Oh
Pootie Tang?
yeah, when I keep forgetting about Pootie Tang. Yeah. But then I can't remember Pootie Tang, and the more I try to remember Pootie Tang, I just remember Undercover Brother, and it just gets confusing. But this was the one that I was like, okay, let's see what Louis could do, and I'm like, okay, he's a competent director, and he can cast some people right, and he gets how to use some of the people that he knows have acting talent that's within his comedian rogues gallery. So I appreciate what he did with that, and I thought that there was a lot good to the movie, but that message that you kind of touched on, I thought was one of the problems for me. That was a little too up its own ass, and it felt like there was a better way to go about that. You could kind of explain in a more nicer way, or not even a nicer way, but more of laid out and concise way of you catch more flies with honey than you do vinegar.
Right.
That was kind of but he tried to get a little too cute artsy about it, where he
Right.
was just but this is the pure truth. It's the beautiful innocent children's hands. Look at it. It's fuck. Okay, Louis, take it easy. Let's look at your career and what's happened in the last few years before you want to take that moral high ground. But I was definitely impressed and enjoyed the movie. I won't say it's bad, but it got close, and it's ugly to me because goddamn was that family drama rough. I was a little too close to home on some of those moments, and it made me like, I was like, oh, a little cringe. So it was
anxiety.
it is a bloody like car wreck of like a family argument that plays out multiple times, and you can't look away. There's even like a character who's not a part of the family that's in the scene that feels very much you. And I realized that late into the movie, but I was like, oh, she's the audience perspective. I like that. I didn't realize that until later on, and that's what Louis was doing. That's good. That's actually
the girl, right?
Yeah, the girl that the
friend
was it where it's like they kept making the joke to him where it's like, oh, recently widowed, recently dead husband, check it out, she's single. Bringing that up, it's like, and she's right there. She's like just looking at him.
Ridiculous.
Recently dead. That's so cool. Come on in. So that was good. That's good. I like this movie. It's for a 4th of July movie. I'd say it works if you are in a more like fun headspace and you're having like a good time and everyone's like joking about it because we're like, oh, we all have shitty families. But like if it's like you want something a little more somber, this is like the anti-Sandlot almost. Like, I would give it as a nice yin and yang to, like, 4th of July. If it's like, if you like 4th of July and you want a movie to watch, but you can't decide and you just want to split it, do this and Sandlot and just ride the in-between.
Why? Yeah. You'll find something in the middle.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But it's up there.
I don't know.
If not, then just say fuck it and put on Team America. You can't go wrong. Or Independence Day. It's literally called Independence Day. Bill Pullman.
Exactly. That speech, man. You can't go wrong with that speech at the end.
Speech, man.
Oh, man. Yeah. All right. So 4th of July is You're Ugly. What a list.
Yeah.
I'm going to move on and talk about Mission Impossible. I watched...
You gauntleted. You went through a whole fucking gauntlet.
All of them. Now, before this, I've only watched 1 through 3.
That's more than me. I've only watched 1 and 2.
1 and 2, yeah. That's probably for the best. After 2, most people abandoned this franchise. That was terrible. And that's probably on the bottom of the list, too. But the first one, pretty good movie. We got Brian De Palma, who did The Usual Suspects. He's really
Paul's
good at
great.
suspense. And if you watch this movie once and then watch it again with the people in the background, you notice that they're kind of like there's like spies watching the spies.
Yes, there is.
And there's like a lot of like triple like crossing happening.
There's a lot of fun with that.
Right in plain sight.
A lot of Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really, really fun.
It's a very jarring movie too, because like at our age, when we first saw it, like I imagine you saw it when you were younger.
96.
When they fucking kill Emilio Estevez.
Right at the beginning with the eyes.
With the eyes in the elevator.
Like,
Mighty Ducks was around that time. I was like, no.
No, Emilio.
Court's Gordon Bundy. That was rough. That was like, from that point on, I was like, whoa, this movie's intense. I'm on all edges with this. And then he uses the gum, all the like nice like James Bond like kind of little nods and stuff. So it was great.
Yes.
I've never been a huge fan of the Mission Impossible franchise, but like those first 2 movies definitely stick out as good action movies to me.
Okay.
Even to this day.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched them recently, so like they hold up 1 and 2 in your opinion.
1 holds up. 2 is a pile of trash.
Isn't that
It was a pile of
that's
trash.
the John Woo flick, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, it's garbage.
Poor John Woo.
I'm sorry. It just does not work for the.
I'll have to go back and watch it. I want to give it a try.
The Doves.
But I believe
oh my
you.
God.
I believe you.
The ridiculous love
like
story.
that.
It did have Thandie Newton in it though. That was nice.
I mean, the cast was. I enjoyed the cast of the second one a lot. I felt that the action scenes were kind of intense because of like the weird just gunfights while on motorcycles and things. That was like pretty fresh even for that time because the second Matrix movie was still a few years away. So
the Limp Bizkit soundtrack to the Mission Impossible 2. I think.
See, this is bringing me back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that on and watch the movie. I think you're crazy. I think 2 holds up. Yeah. Mission Impossible right here.
But 1 I love. 2, yeah, it's too much woo, and the woo don't work. The woo don't work. Just don't work. And his hair in this is ridiculous.
Yeah, he did have kind of a weird like mullet thing going on.
Oh man,
The Tom Cruise mullet.
Now
The Cruise it.
Let's go to 3.
Okay, 3 I've not touched.
I really enjoyed. J.J. Abrams.
J.J. Abrams. Oh,
did
yeah,
this
he did
one.
do that. Yeah.
And what made this one so good was Philip Seymour Hoffman as the bad guy. Just he's so menacing. He's so evil. Like when he's first captured by Ethan Hunt, by Tom Cruise, like he's just like, who are you? What's your name? What's your family? Just give me information. Like he's just like, I'm gonna get something from you, and then I'm gonna use it, and I'm gonna kill you with it. And there's a point where he finds out where his name is Ethan, and he's just like, all right, I have something to work with. And then he's just so menacing. He uses very few words.
Oh, he's a great villain. Philip Seymour Hoffman is a great antagonist.
And he puts these like little like bombs in people's heads, like he shoots them through their nose. And who was it? It was Felicity. It's also J.J. Abrams' friend, from the girl who played Felicity. I can't think of her name.
Yeah, I can't either.
But she got a bomb in her head, and then Tom Cruise is trying to save her, and like the bomb goes off, but it's like a little mini bomb, so she just goes in her eye, like just goes. Like that.
Wow!
It's like both equally haunting and hilarious at the same time.
I like that. It's a good balance.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll check out 3. I'll put 1 through 3 on the server.
Yeah, three's not bad. I love Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah,
he makes the whole film, and it's that film. He's trying to have a love life and that's the thing. Philip Seymour Hoffman finds out about his wife. Eventually,
because he's going to use all the information against him.
Okay. And then they are so happy at the end of that movie, and then number 4 starts, and it's like, yeah, it didn't work out.
Oh man, she was a
like,
fembot the whole time.
No, it was just like I think she couldn't handle his lifestyle or something.
Oh, that would have been crazier if she was like a killer android that had like gun nipples or something. Yeah, all right. Well,
so
missed opportunity.
4.
And who did 4?
Was done by Brad Bird, which is an interesting choice. He's an animator. He did Iron Giant and and the Incredibles as well.
Okay,
yeah. So those two, and
those are good.
he worked on Simpsons back in the day as well.
Oh, okay. That's right.
But yeah, like I think this was his first live action directorial debut. It wasn't bad. It was also the one that I like to call. It came out in like 2012, no 11. But it was during that time when everyone was going to Dubai, so it had Dubai in it. You got to have Dubai and everything during that time.
Of course.
The stunt. Because this is when Tom Cruise starts doing stunts. I would say around 4 is when he starts doing the crazy stunts. He's
not just dangling from a ceiling.
He's not just dangling or riding a motorcycle. He's doing something. This is the one where he climbs Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world.
Oh,
and there's this
on
scene,
the outside. Okay.
There's this scene where you're over the shoulder of Tom Cruise, and he kind of swings out of the window, and the camera kind of follows him. And you just see the bottom kind of just opening up, and you can see the curvature of the earth because it's so tall.
Oh,
and
shit, that's dope.
You just have this moment of oof, like almost like a
you get a vertigo.
Vertigo for a second. Yeah, you're just like, ooh, okay, that's a good shot.
Your mortality clicks in.
But other than that,
no, I could die.
I didn't find it overall appealing. Nothing really stood out.
Who's the villain? Just forgettable actor?
Fuck, who's the villain of that movie?
It's John Woo. He is back, but
John
he's acting.
Woo is the villain. Let's see, Mission Impossible 4. It is
Simon Pegg.
Yeah, Simon Pegg plays Benji. Remember Benji in the second one, which is played by that Australian dude?
Oh, is it Jeremy Renner's the villain?
Jeremy Renner's in this.
That's a good villain. That sucks.
No, he's not a villain. He's actually. I remember during this time, Mission Impossible 4. Tom Cruise was gonna retire, so Jeremy Renner came in to take his place.
Shit, okay.
And then Tom Cruise was like, "Nah, just kidding."
Didn't they do that with the Bourne movies as well? Wasn't there a Bourne movie where he was stepping in for fucking Matt Damon? I think there was.
It's the Sea-Doo girl. No, seriously, it's the Caesar girl.
Oh, wow.
She
Wow.
She,
She's the villain?
She's the villain. Yeah.
Oh.
She look it up. Look up this girl.
Yawn.
She was in like Bond. Yeah.
She's a
the Bond
Spectre,
girl,
so I mean, I
yeah.
guess it's typecasting. That's what it is. She's stuck.
Yeah.
We want you as generic Bond villain lady.
But yeah, I didn't feel this one. I didn't feel her as an actor. I didn't feel really anything.
Yeah.
I know in this one, Benji Simon Pegg becomes a field agent. He's no longer the guy behind the chair.
Okay.
He's out and about, so that's cool.
That is cool. Good
Yeah.
for Simon Pegg to get on his feet on the ground.
Mission Impossible 5, Rogue Nation. Now, I don't know if you know, Mission Impossible 1, he gets disavowed. Mission Impossible 2, he gets disavowed. Mission Impossible 3, he gets disavowed.
Oh shit. Okay. 4.
Mission Impossible 4, he works for a former person who was disavowed.
Okay, so he's disavowed by proxy.
Yes. And this one,
Uh-huh.
the entire IMF is disavowed, and they have to go rogue.
Oh shit, they bring back Vin Rames.
Yeah, so Ving Rhames is in all of them.
Oh, he is in all of them.
He gets rounder and rounder throughout all of them. And
Been
I'm
rounds.
pretty sure it's in his contract that he can sit the whole time because he's just sitting.
Oh, he's like later Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
Despite a dude to chair.
It's ridiculous.
Oh.
So Jeremy Renner does come back in this one, and also, what's his name? Alec Baldwin's in this. He's a CIA agent. Kind
Does
of
he
like
shoot anyone in the face?
he punches someone, right? Yeah.
I wonder if it's a real cut.
No, he doesn't punch someone in this one. He punches someone in the next one.
Alec Baldwin comes back in the next. He's like
Yeah.
a recurring character in the franchise now.
Yeah, like
How do these people
starting
get tagged
starting
into
from
this?
5 on, it's starting to be more like Marvel movie.
Oh,
yeah.
they're really franchising.
They're
with it
kind
hard.
of franchising. So you're just
They're
like,
trying to make it
oh,
episodic.
it's this guy from the thing that you're supposed to remember that I don't remember. But this one, yes, they got to go rogue because Alec Baldwin closes down the IMF agency. Also, he calls Tom Cruise in this, I shit you not, a walking manifestation of destiny.
Oh, wow. I could see him delivering that line and it being kind of funny, but also a little awkward. A little too surreal.
It's ridiculous.
You're like a Deus Ex Machina manifest.
But they go ghost to find Solomon Lane, who is a former British agent who created this. What is it called? The Syndicate.
Okay.
The Syndicate, which is like a network of former agents.
Oh, okay.
And this
Sweeps them
one
out.
wasn't bad. This was pretty good.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
So more disavowing leads to a better Mission Impossible. I like that. They just need to disavow
They need
everybody.
to keep. Yeah, you got to up the.
What
disavow.
if in the next Mission Impossible they disavow the country?
Whoa, I like the way you think.
There you go. Everyone's all citizens have been disavowed.
You're right. Rebecca Ferguson is in this, who
Okay.
plays. She's in Dune currently, but
Yeah.
she plays like a former British agent.
Oh, probably tied to that rogue group. Okay.
No, actually, I think I forget. She is tied, but she's
like a
essentially
double agent, maybe?
a love interest.
Oh, okay.
And
There's
but
romantic
she keeps
threads.
appearing.
Romantic.
She keeps coming back.
Okay.
So we move on to number 6.
Yes.
Is that where we're at?
I believe we're at 6, yeah.
6.
I think.
Fallout,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, because
Yes,
Vanessa
Fallout.
Kirby was in this one.
Yes.
And Henry Cavill. This is the first one. This is the
Yes.
mustache one.
So this is
Oh,
great.
shit.
So this one
Okay.
is really, really good. I enjoy. This was.
He was
like,
more jacked
fun.
in this than the Superman movies.
I agree.
Just crazy.
Because he's in a suit, and you're just like, damn, I can see your freaking outline of your pecs in that suit,
It's
bitch.
wild,
He
man.
literally like cocks his hands like a gun in this film.
Yeah,
It's
he like punched a
ridiculous.
wall at one point. He was just like, blah.
Yeah, he
Like,
does
oh my
this like
goodness.
really like squared off boxing kind of like fight, which is pretty
And you
good.
can just see his muscle shield
Yeah.
that he puts
So-
up.
Yeah, this one is Henry Cavill is playing a CIA agent helping IMF, but in reality, he is a a part of a different terrorist organization called the Apostles.
Oh, he's a double agent.
So he's a double agent that's trying to get the other agent dude, Solomon Lane from the last movie, to help out to prevent a nuclear blast. This one's pretty great because the story's super simple. It's just nuclear bombs. We're stopping some
Yeah,
nuclear
it's a classic
bombs.
spy movie. Like
Yeah.
nuclear bombs are gonna go off, and we gotta prevent it. I like that.
Yeah.
We didn't get kind of convoluted sometimes in these movies, and it doesn't help. It detracts.
Yeah. Henry Cavill gets his face fucked.
Oh
like,
my gosh!
At the end of the film, and then he gets
Wild.
like, it's kind of brutal.
They burn off that mustache.
Yeah, they burned off half of it.
Oh no! He's gonna have CGI it out of Superman
And
now.
Vanessa Kirby plays like a arms dealer. I
Okay.
think. Yeah,
She's
which she will show up later.
Okay.
There's this funny scene where like they're trying to figure out some of her information. So they capture a person with information. They tie him up. They pretend like he was out for 2 weeks, and he's watching a TV that says like bombs exploded, and it has Wolf Blitzer.
Yeah, well, I was going to point that out. Wolf Blitzer's in this movie,
Yes.
and I feel that Wolf Blitzer plays a news anchor on movies more than he actually is a news anchor in real life.
Probably.
At this point.
Probably. But it's a moment
Like,
where
it's getting out of hand.
they fake the newscast with Wolf Blitzer, because the whole thing, they have the masks, right, and the whole in these films where everyone's
yeah.
always wearing someone else's face.
Stupid fucking like ridiculously good synthetic
The
masks that make
Scooby-Doo
no
masks,
sense.
yeah.
You're just like, how is it? It's like, I was your grandmother the whole time.
But
like,
that's
what?
They essentially get information out of him, and then Wolf Blitzer's like, "Ha! I was Simon Pegg this whole time, bitch."
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
I want to pretend that that's the reality.
Pretty good. I really enjoyed
The
this
trailer
one.
for that actually looked real. That was the first time where I was like, oh, a Mission Impossible movie looks good.
And Henry Cavill was solid as villain.
Okay.
For sure. Moving on to the final one that is coming out, and is out, or it's a movie. It's a thing. Yeah, see, it's out. We could go see it at 12:10 right now.
That's true. If we rush, we can catch.
Actually, that's.
All right, we're in the theater now. We're sitting.
So this film is a part one of the end of the saga, essentially.
Oh, that's why
So
the
there's-
second one's coming out next year so quickly. They're doing like
Yeah.
a Matrix 1 and 2 kind of thing.
Exactly. So we're
Or
gonna get
2
a
and
part
3, I
two, coming out, and that supposedly is gonna wrap everything up.
Wrap it up so they can reboot it with a younger, more crazier Ethan Hunt.
So this one's about like a weapon that's like an AI. It's essentially AI that's able to track and do more or less anything. And they're trying to get this key, and it's like this pretty cool key where it's like you put them together, and it's like a cross key, and you got to like disarm it. So the whole film is kind of like trying to get this key, and more or less, we run into Haley Atwell, who's in this, who plays kind of she plays a pickpocketer, or like a thief, and we find out that Vanessa Kirby was the one who hired her to get it.
She's a burglar.
She's a burglar.
Okay.
And this guy right here, S.I. Morales.
I recognize him.
He's
Yeah.
he's the main bad guy, essentially trying to get the key as well,
Okay.
and working with Vanessa Kirby. And Palm Clemente is kind of like the bad hitman, working with S.A., who plays, what does she play again? Mantis. Yeah.
Oh,
She's pretty good as
shit.
like a stoic, like just kind of like assassin. She worked pretty well.
Yeah,
I thought.
that makes sense. She's got a good build for it too, so it looks like they actually had a pretty solid cast overall with all these choices.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I like
Yeah.
that. And Vin Rames came back and got even rounder.
Yeah. I forgot going back. I want to go back to Fallout, cuz what's his name's in it? Is it Fallout, or is it, I think, yeah. Fuck, I already forgot his name. The dude who just murdered a girl.
Did you just murdered a girl?
We were just talking about him a second ago.
Guy murdered a girl, and we were talking about him a second ago. Who murdered him?
Alec
Felicity.
Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin.
Wait, I was gonna say Philip Seymour Hoffman when he blew up Felicity's face.
No.
Alec
Baldwin.
Yeah,
Shot
yeah.
a girl in the face.
Yeah.
There's a scene in the Fallout where he's like punching Henry Cavill, and it's just not. It's hilarious seeing.
Because it's not believable.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Last good thing Alec Baldwin was in was Departed, and that's it.
Departed.
That's it. I mean, he's like beats the shit out of that dude because he fucked up placing the cameras. That was funny.
So this movie does a good job at ending the actual movie while also teasing a new movie.
So the opposite of Dune?
So pretty much the opposite of Dune. And what else? Like every movie this year came out was like a part. Like Spider-Verse didn't do it well. I think Fast X supposedly just ended.
Apparently that didn't stick the landing either.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of problems with that, but that still seemed to do financially better than I thought it would.
Yeah. So somewhere after Mission Impossible 4, Tom Cruise goes on to do Edge of Tomorrow. One of the writers of Edge of Tomorrow is Christopher McQuarrie.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
From there on, their love relationship started. Tom Cruise was like, I want to kill myself by doing a stunt. And Christopher McQuarrie's like, I want to film you doing it.
Yeah.
And they fell in love.
And now they're trying to kill Tom Cruise slowly.
Now they're slowly trying to kill
movie
Tom
at a time.
Cruise. Yeah.
They're going to see what they do. Edge of Tomorrow was such a good movie.
Edge of Tomorrow is great.
Oh my
right?
gosh, I love that movie too. That's
that movie's
oh my god,
film.
I loved. That's a movie I could watch every year.
Mm-hmm.
That is solid. I was blown away by how good it was. It was stupid how well they translated it.
Ooh, so good.
But yeah, that's those rare gems where Tom Cruise can still put out good movies.
He can.
He still has some in him, but he's crazy and loves to run.
Yeah, he loves. Oh man,
loves to run. He's insane.
So much running in the. There's like a scene in this one, Fallout, where he runs into his old wife from this film. That like she's doing. She's like a nurse doing like helping in like Africa.
Okay.
And he just runs into her, and he's just like. He talks to her for a second, and then out of nowhere, he's just like, and he's off, and that's how the scene ends. And it's like supposed to be dramatic, but he's just like gone.
Just like, well, I gotta get out of here. Sorry, I still hate you.
A lot of running there, a lot of running.
Weird, man.
So yeah, we got one more next year.
So many Mission Impossible movies.
I assume
I'm blown
it's already done being written if it's coming out next year.
Or at least being polished.
Yeah. Oh, they can't polish it. Writer's strike.
Well, I mean, like
it better be
probably
already
some production.
Polished. Yeah.
There's probably like production in there, stuff that's getting cleaned up. But yeah, no more writing.
So sure. We'll see how that goes.
I'm sure that movie's in like some watchable form at this
Overall, these are films that I call really good films that I don't care about. The subject matter. When it comes to espionage, like I'm not a big Bond fan. I would actually say I like Mission Impossible over Bond.
Oh. Okay.
But for espionage, spy thrillers, I need it to be ridiculous.
More of a Johnny English kind of guy.
Oh, there you go, lampooning it like Johnny English or like Archer or
Archer's great, yeah.
Either over the top like the Gentleman or not the what is it? The Kingsman.
Kingsman.
Yeah.
Kingsman's good with that. I like a lot of the guy we've talked about this before, like the Guy Ritchie spy movies are great.
Yeah.
I like the original Avengers, the British one. I like those a lot.
Oh,
that one from the 90s is fun. I like that kind of campy British like spy movies.
That's good
Michael Caine stuff. Old Michael Caine spy movies are fucking great.
Yeah. They don't do it as much for me, but this is my review of movies that they're great action. I will say the action in these are competent for sure.
Nice.
All of them. Like this one where you actually see him break his foot while he's jumping. He jumps.
Yeah.
And his foot just goes like this and inward towards him. And it's in the film.
Yeah. And then he's up on crutches for a bit.
Fuck.
Yeah. He's definitely become like a Jackie Chan style actor where he's really doing a lot of his stunts and being aggressive.
which is cool actually. I dig that. I'm trying to think. I want to say
4 is your.
I still like the original.
One's your
stunts.
favorite.
I'm movie wise. All right, movie wise, I'm gonna say currently Fallout.
Is your favorite
Yeah.
of the Mission
Then
Impossible?
3.
Okay. Wow.
Then 1.
Okay.
Then the new one.
That speaks for 3. That's good.
Then
Good to know.
4. These two are both kind of
Forgettable. They're blend.
Yeah, I'll go 5, then 4, then 2. Oh, I didn't put the new one, right? I'd probably put that behind 1.
I just realized the pun in the naming scheme. It's a spy movie. The 6th one was literally called
MI6. Yeah.
Ha ha.
Yeah. But in terms of stunts, I still want to go with the first one. Just that scene of the tension when he's in Langley trying to hack that computer and he's dangling.
Yeah.
Still solid. Like him hanging onto a plane is cool. Yeah. Him underwater is cool. I like that too. The new one, he jumped off off a giant mountain and onto a train. So that's cool. Yeah.
I mean,
Tom Cruise
at least the trailers are always solid. Remember the Mummy trailer still? The stunts he did in that movie. That was so.
Oh no!
Strange.
So bad. But yeah, that's my Mission Impossible talk. Yeah.
You've saved me the trouble of having to watch half of these.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into our main subject. We're going to rewrite Terminator 3. Terminator 2, great movie. Terminator 1, great movie. Terminator 3, whatever version, flavor of 3 you choose, not so great.
Yeah.
Not so great at all.
Terminator 3 itself, the actual third Terminator, not a good movie.
Yeah.
Interesting, entertaining at some points, but not a good movie.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. So we're going to do our version of what Terminator 3 would be. And I will start first.
Go for it.
So my version would essentially be a feature-length version of T2 3D, the ride from Universal Studios. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Danny?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I
So
do.
if you're unfamiliar
Wow.
with the ride, you kind of go in and you're kind of introduced to like some Cyberdyne stuff, and then all of a sudden like the screen glitches and you see John Connor, Sarah Connor, they're all like, nah, Cyberdyne's doing some fucked up shit, yo, and you need to leave, and we keep going into the auditorium, and they show you their murder robots, they do some stuff, and then they come down, and then essentially the Terminator comes and takes John into the future. And into the future, that's where the 3D part comes. It's like it goes from a live show to an actual movie presentation.
Oh, that's a cool trend.
And within that, you kind of go through, and there's this cool action scene, and then eventually you kill this T 3,000 or 4,000, or it's like a liquid monster thing.
Yeah, it's like they took the premise of the liquid concept already applied to the Terminator and made it like a boss. They're like, what if it's a crazy boss in a video game?
Yeah. So that's kind of like the basis of it. It's like 30-40 minutes total, this whole kind of experience that you get to see. So I would start the movie off kind of like how the introduction to this presentation is, almost, where it's like you see all the cool medical things and stuff like that, and then eventually bring you into kind of this room. It wouldn't be like a auditorium ride situation. I would treat it more like a kind of like a investors meeting with just like a few people kind of coming through, and they see the robots. And
fucking RoboCop.
Like RoboCop.
Yeah.
Pretty much more or less RoboCop. And that's when kind of like John and Sarah kind of try to hack their way into their like entertainment systems, and then they eventually come in, try to take it down, and then they find essentially the time machine, and that's where they kind of go back. And I guess I'm trying to think, where would I introduce Arnold's character? He would have to already be there. You'd have to already come back in time. And they would have to essentially go forward in time. Essentially, I like the idea of in the original third movie with Claire Danes, that it's kind of like an inevitability. It's always going to happen. Judgment Day was kind of always going to happen.
Well, they did that in the X-Men House and Powers X.
So I like the idea of bringing that in to this movie where essentially Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator is like your Judgment Day is an inevitability. There's nothing that you could do to stop it. All you could do is help us. And so like Sarah Connor's just like, he's right. There's nothing you do. They depart forever, and he goes into the future forever. Like, he just goes into the future to help fight a battle now at this point. And it would have those elements of the ride where he's first in the world, and there's those little, like, things kind of coming in. They're getting chased down and stuff like that.
Oh, so this is going to tie into kind of some of the Salvation kind of style stuff as well. Like how when they're first, like, driving around trying to deal with, like, the drones chasing
a little bit
if
it was, a little better.
Well, yeah, way better.
Yeah.
Salvation.
And not done in the daytime.
That's such a low bar. Salvation is bad.
All those scenes were in the daytime.
I was a Batman.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, that's probably one of the worst to me. That's worse than 3.
Yeah.
The actual 3 is better than Salvation.
Oof, yeah. So yeah, I haven't fleshed out like the ending exactly, like what is how they would defeat, like they just kind of defeat the whatever monster, liquid metal monster at the end. I think there would need to be some type of MacGuffin or some person they would need to interact with to essentially be able to take it down.
You could time jump to the future where either they're completely gone and live there, or they've evolved to a non-violent, like sentient version that's more powerful and friendly, and then bring that one back to defeat the past, kind of.
Oh shit! That's like elements of the other third one now.
It's all coming.
Jay Courtney.
I'm just saying, it's a good idea, but you can continue your pitch.
And then I think the ending would be essentially he takes down that liquid metal. That version of Arnold Schwarzenegger dies. He'll be back, of course, because he'll be back. And then John's kind of faced with like the realization that he's stuck here. And he comes to terms with it at the end, and he's like, it'll be like an ending with like him and his ragtag teams, like me and my friends. We're day 3. We're out there. We're trying.
Yeah, doing that recount how it ended with Starship Troopers,
essentially, or like how Sarah Connor was like talking in her like things
when they're pulling up to the gas station. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah,
that's perfect. No, that'd be great.
Yeah.
He's pulling up to a gas station for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, how do you even have gas?
What's a gas?
Like,
yeah.
This is just iconic. It looks exactly the same. Oh, man.
So that's mine. I just really love that ride back in the day.
That was cool.
I wanted to see a feature film.
That would have been real good.
How much they spent a lot of money on that.
Yeah.
James Cameron actually directed it. It's actually everyone. It's Arnold. It's
paired to like Captain Nemo and like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and things like that. Like that's one of the best ones I've ever seen, where it's like a ride that's also a movie.
Yeah, agreed. It cost. No, that's not telling me. Nope, that's not telling. Okay, I can't find it.
You know what this also like kind of reminds me of is that like the Japanese are always on such another level when it comes to this stuff. When it comes to their properties and like converting them into rides. Like there's so many full-length like anime movies that we've never seen because they're ride based, like either for Dragon Ball or One Piece or like Pokemon or what have you. It's just like they release like 3 or 4 of those a year since like the 80s. So It's like a whole fucking wealth of like just those movies that we never saw. And the one we got was Terminator. That was the one that was really good.
So good.
So well done. Though I like Captain Nemo, and the Honey I Shrunk the Kids one was
Captain
good, too.
Nemo was good.
Those
What
are
is
good,
it
but-
now?
It's it's not even Honey I Shrunk the Kids anymore. It's something else. It's some Star Wars probably, or who knows.
It is Star Wars
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yep.
Stop.
Just wring that rag out until it bursts in flames. Yeah, but I like that. That if they had to make a Terminator 3, I'd probably pick yours over what I probably already accept as Terminator 3.
Yeah.
And that's Terminator 5.
Oh.
Terminator 5 is what I would remake Terminator 3 into.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would
Okay.
just use that because I liked that movie. I actually didn't hate it. Most people hated it. I enjoyed it.
Don't get it.
I thought it was way better than the actual
Crazy.
3. It was Salvation was so bad that this one just fit. I liked that scene where they went back to Terminator 1 and like old Arnold fought young CG Arnold, and it was just great. Oh man, I thought Emilia Clarke worked as like young Sarah Connor, but I would have changed it to actual old Sarah Connor and brought back a lot of the original cast that I could.
Yeah.
Except for Edward Furlong because he did not age gracefully.
Oh, you did not.
It did not, even compared to like Arnold at that time. Like I wouldn't want Edward Furlong anywhere near any remake of anything.
Yeah.
I just wanted him to stay out of the sunlight. Let's just keep him locked away. So I would have brought back a lot of that. I would have definitely probably fleshed out a lot of the weird time travel paradoxes and tried to make things more matter. But it does play into what 3 originally said, where it was like, well, you got rid of what Skynet became from this thing, but something else popped up, and then that thing became Skynet, or the new Skynet, the new AI, because the AI is inevitable. It's like how they did in that X-Men run, where always when they defeated the Sentinels or the AI or the robots, in the future a different type would pop up at some other point. So like you got to keep that. That's got to be inherent to 3. But I like a lot of the newer characters that are introduced, like Matt Smith's character being like a weird manifestation for Skynet. Like I think that he plays a good version of that, and he's not really used real well in a lot of movies, I feel, or often. And so it was great to see him used well in a movie. So that kind of was a nice little bonus. So it would be like half old cast returning, half cast of that kind of getting merged together, and there'd just be some like cleaning and like more better approach to how they're going to handle the time travel stuff and how much time we spend in the future.
Right.
And yeah, like after that, I would just wrap that up and like keep it and go from there, and just not ever do a Terminator movie again and let the franchise die.
Just let it
die.
end.
Yeah. Because at that point, I just thought Genesis would also be the end of it. And so I was like, yeah, this is, I like this movie because it's over. It's done. We're done with Terminator. Let's cap it off. You guys,
Finished.
it's good. I'll give you an applaud and we'll call it. Like, you don't need to do any more.
Yeah.
It was a good try. Let's just end the series. I mean, I'm going to be one, and this is where we could change gears in this conversation. What is your stance on Terminator 1 versus Terminator 2?
I like them both. A lot of people don't like 1 as much. They see it as a different film. A lot of people love 2. I still love 2 more than 1, but I really, really enjoy 1 for what it is. Because he's so menacing, like in that film where he just does not give a shit. He's like, Sarah Connor, this Sarah Connor, bam, dead. This Sarah Connor, bam, dead. Like, no emotion. Like,
He's a killing machine.
He's a killing machine, literally.
I'm in the camp of 1's the better of the 2 because 2 makes the Terminator kind of dumb. He kind of is like running around with Edward Furlong and he's like hacking things with his like, was it like a Commodore 64, like an Atari 2600? Yeah. And I'm like, this is stupid. I know enough about video games to know this is fucking wild and like absurd. Like some of that got a little too campy and silly, like kind of like how the RoboCops kind of started to do that. Like the difference between Terminator 2 and Terminator 1 to me is the same as RoboCop 1 and 2, but for some reason people are like, yeah, fucking Terminator 2. And I'm like, wait, I like RoboCop 2, but nobody was like, yeah, RoboCop 2. Like, these movies aren't any different to me.
RoboCop 1, for sure.
But, like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. RoboCop 1 is so... Well, yeah, but see, people hate RoboCop 2 so badly that I feel like it's not too different in how they changed Terminator 2. Oh my God, Kyle is showing me a picture of Everett Furlong, and I am traumatized. That was not even modern day. That was like probably a few years ago.
Like
and still, it was
at least
bad.
7 years ago.
God, he looked like something from Where the Wild Things Are. Ah, Jesus. But yeah, like, I don't know. I just thought, and I'd say this with a lot of movies, and because I want things to end, but I thought just one Terminator would have been fine. Living in a universe where Terminator 2 didn't exist doesn't sound like a bad thing to me. Because I feel like because we got 2, oh my God, that other one, he's so fat. That other one on the right, he's so fat.
What's
right
happening?
There. He looks like Alfred Molina. What's going on?
I don't like this.
Oh my God.
I don't like this.
Oh, it's just
I'm pulling away.
we get Terminator 2 that leads to Terminator 3, which then leads to Salvation, and then we get Genesis, and that's like I still don't think fucking 3 and Salvation are worth Genesis, and then we get Dark Fate, right? That's the last one was Dark Fate. That's probably right up there with Salvation.
That's
From what I've seen, is
bad.
that movie's just as bad as
I
those.
watched some of it, most of it.
They
I
brought
couldn't finish the end.
Back
but-
some of the original cast in a
God,
fun
man.
way that I would have see, like I'd take that and I'd put that in 3, but no, just fuck that. I mean, the scene where he comes out in the original 3 where he has the coffin and it's filled with guns.
That was cool.
That was a cool scene.
That was
And then
great.
the scene with the fire truck that Arnold paid for out of his like. but
Yeah.
there's some good to the original Terminator 3, but no.
Nope.
Fuck all of that. Just Terminator 1 and let's call it a day.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I mean, if we could end it too, I would be fine with that too. But I just know that once you start it, just every franchise, it's got to go. So that's why in my perfect universe, Terminator 1's all we get, and that's all we need, man. Watch Terminator 1. That's fucking that. Nothing is as good in any of the Terminator franchise as that fucking police scene where he's just mowing down cops one after another. It's like, oh my God, this shit is metal as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where I stand. Let's just remake
Nice.
Terminator 3
Let's
into
just-
Terminator 1.
Let's go back in time and let's watch it
It
again.
just loops into it, but you're watching from a distance. So it's like from like a person's perspective. Like remember in like is Prisoner of Azkaban, the third Harry Potter,
Yeah.
where they're like watching their scenes play out from afar. So you're
Yes.
watching the Terminator scenes play out from afar as like a random time traveler. It's Kyle Reese again, but just slightly older
Oh God.
from a different timeline where he doesn't die. And he like comes up to Sarah Connor and he goes, I have to knock you up because the first time I tried apparently it didn't work, so I'm gonna have to have sex with you again. And she's like, no, but he rapes her, so it's like really dark.
Oh God.
We're gonna have Tarantino direct.
Okay. No. Oh yeah. If
Harvey
you're gonna do-
Keitel's gonna be in it as the T-2000.
Oh, hey, Harvey Keitel.
He cannot, and to save on budget, he doesn't transform into metal, but he can control metal. So he's like a Magneto.
Okay,
All right.
I dig it. Let's see it. Let's make it happen. Tarantino's last film. That's it.
Is a remake of Terminator 3 that is a remake of Terminator 1. That would be right up to Tarantino's alley. He'd love that. He'd love that.
So I'm looking at Terminator 2 3D Battle Across Time at Universal Studios. Cost $60 million, with the total runtime of the video and the film being 12 minutes, and that only costing $24 million alone. And at the time was the most expensive film per minute in the world.
Jeez.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's a lot of money for something that's
a lot of nuts.
12 minutes.
Yeah. Also, remember that Terminator light gun game? Or it's rail shooter.
Yeah, the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the Aerosmith one almost.
The same exact type of game. Yeah, take that and let's get a movie of that. What's
Okay.
that story? Like, because
Okay.
I always sucked at that game, so I could never get I got halfway through around
Well,
quarters.
that's what I had such high hopes for Salvation. It's finally a future film, right? We're gonna get something interesting.
We get that scene
Oh,
from
no.
T2, that crazy iconic scene. We get that
We
world.
just get daylight. It's weird.
Yeah.
Daylight
And
and
you know,
dirt.
our technology is more advanced now, so it's like, well, could they do better CG? And they're like, nope, we're going to do really weak
Nah.
daylight CG and no practical effects that are worthwhile.
No, and Christian Bale's gonna yell at you.
Yeah, and his
On
Batman
set.
voice, essentially. Oh, yeah,
Oh,
on set.
good for
Walking through the
you.
shot. Good for you. What?
That was big.
was a
I
good-
forgot about that.
Yeah, that was a good freak out. That was a good celebrity
Right,
freak out.
right.
It had been Tom Cruise for a while, and it was nice that like Christian Bale stepped up and took the place, throwing it back
Yeah.
to Mission Impossible. His freakouts were they were great. You're a
They were
jerk.
good. Yeah, they were good.
Who does that? Who sprays water at people? I'm in love, Oprah. Watch out.
Jump on this couch.
Ah! Just shaking her. Do you remember the ones where they they put the CG lightning from like Emperor Palpatine on in his hands? And he's like tasing Oprah with his hands.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Good
stuff. Good stuff.
Indeed.
Terminator 3. That's a good film. Both of our films. Great films. It will never be made.
Yep.
It'll just be enjoyed in our minds. But that's okay. That's okay too.
It's good
I'm
to have
okay with that.
imagination.
Yeah, we don't have to waste money on dumb ideas.
Sometimes stuff doesn't have
we can
to.
just talk about it.
Yeah, things can just be
all
let
right.
go.
That's
Stuff
all
doesn't
right.
have to get made. Things can end. The world could be happy.
Exactly. I think that's our lesson for the week. I think that's what we learned for the week.
I think that's what we learned right there.
We're learning stuff. But that will do it for us this week. Danny, you have any final thoughts or words for the people?
My final thoughts on this are that we need to make a movie that's a mockumentary about me going back in time and stopping Terminator 2 from being made. That's my final thoughts. I think I just struck gold right there.
There it is. It'll be on GoFundMe
Chef
soon.
Kiss.
Or
Just say.
Yeah, we'll put it.
Stop putting your money into FP3 and start GoFunding this movie.
Yeah, no NFTs, none of these numbers.
Top GoFunders will get non-fungible tokens.
Oh god.
It will be the movie poster on the token.
No.
I learned today that I want to kill myself. I hate these fungible tokens. I hate it all. I hate cryptocurrency. That's what I learned.
He hates it. That'll do it for this
thing and that and the other edition.
That'll do it for us this week. Go to freespeechgeek.com to go see more stuff about us talking about stuff. Hey, you know at cons there's this guy holding up this sign yelling you're going to hell. We kind of think that he might be right. And we write about that. No, but we do a breakdown.
He might be right, but for the wrong reasons.
We do a breakdown on the differences between religion, aka that crazy dude, and you crazy fans, and it's not too far off. So go check that out. That'll do it for us. I need to sign off. Let's flip the table, Danny.
I don't
Let's
know
do
if this
it.
thing's on it.
I'm not. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna.
There you go.
Thanks for listening, everyone. If you love this podcast, we have a lot more content over at freespeechgeek.com. We have upcoming convention coverage, news about your favorite weeb shit. We also do in-depth takes like, are some fans more religious than Christians, Jews, and Muslims? Spoiler alert, yes, some of you crazy people are. All that and more over at freespeechgeek.com. Go check it out, you psychopaths.